Crypto Kids, we've noticed something quite troublesome in reference to crude oil prices. Remember the 35% correction we experienced from the May into June month? And then that got us a 70 basis point reduction on the CPI, pumping Bitcoin by 2K in less than an hour. Well, crude oil prices are now up 35% in 3 weeks. The expectations of a rate hike in September have jumped to 55.6%, with a higher chance of getting a 50 basis point rate hike in comparison to keeping rates where they are. This is bad for Bitcoin. This is bad for altcoins. It's exactly the story which I want to cover. Another strait, aside from the Strait of Hormuz, is facing troubles. The bond market is facing troubles. The national debt at 39.6 trillion. The Clarity Act, even with good developments on paper, the expectation of it passing into law down by 10%. SpaceX below pre-IPO levels, sitting under $115. So much to go over. Stay tuned until the very end of today's video. And if you do appreciate our updates, destroy that like button and subscribe. My name is Crypto Kids. I've been making content on this channel for now roughly 4.5 years. Regardless of bear markets, regardless of bull markets, we are here for you, delivering daily bite-sized alpha videos. When you watch it and the video ends, you will know all the relevant topics of the previous 24 hours. That is my mission. And if that deserves a like in your view, then please do destroy it because it helps the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe. Beginning with the Bitcoin prices. Past 2 videos, we spoke of the value area high. We posted first on the Crypto Kids LoveX. You can join with the first link in the description down below for free. That the value area high, when we were at $66,500, could give us a rejection / consolidation. The point of control at 62.6 will be good short-term support. I'm okay to be long all the way up until 57.5K because we would technically be in a falling wedge pattern. Nonetheless, my positionings are on a timeline. The second week of August. More so than price-based trading, I'm doing time-based trading. The second week of August is critical. 3 weeks away. Every summer in a bear market, Bitcoin pumps. In 2022, you pump by 28%. In 2018, you pump by 37% towards your 200 daily moving average. We have begun the pump, but it's minuscule compared to the prior 2 cycles. We rejected in 2022 on the second week of August. We rejected in 2018 on the first week of August. Therefore, if Bitcoin isn't sitting around the 70K territories in 3 weeks, I will have to change my short-term bullish bias quickly to a bearish bias, as Q4 is when we expect our ultimate capitulation. That is the Bitcoin price update. Looking at crude oil, our short-term correction is influenced almost 100% by oil prices going up. This is only a short-term effect. $91. Why are we here? Well, American forces carried out another round of strikes, tragically targeting Iran for the 12th consecutive night. Additionally, the Houthis have allegedly done strikes against 2 Saudi vessels. Also incredibly tragic, also incredibly upsetting. They're attempting to create a blockade in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This strait in the Red Sea controls roughly 10% of all seaborne trade, from textiles to you name it. Thankfully, we have the Suez Canal that can help out a little bit. But the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, nonetheless, very, very critical. They control 12-ish% of global crude oil supply, with the Strait of Hormuz facing near all-time low activity in vessel traffic. Bab el-Mandeb also being impacted cuts off a majority of all Middle Eastern oil transport. That pushes crude oil higher. Ongoing geopolitical tension pushes crude oil higher. This will push inflation higher, keep rates where they are in July, most likely, and then have them hiked in a Warsh managed Fed, Trump will flip. Altcoins will not be so positively impacted. Ethereum getting a rejection on the 4-day candle from its huge falling wedge. Sadly, with the way that crude oil prices are looking to be with recent geopolitical developments, in my opinion, it's more likely that Ethereum faces stagnation and waits to produce any sort of, alongside the rest of the altcoin market, promising returns. That would have to wait until post Q4. It's quite upsetting. Crude oil prices are ruining all the fun, killing Bitcoin's bullish volatility. It is what it is. This is the new normal that we live in today. Risk, uncertainty, and us traders, we have to navigate amongst that. You guys know the drill. The second week of August will be critical. Crude oil will push inflation higher. In 6 days, we have the FOMC, and I'll be live streaming that very important event over on the Moonshow channel. Something else which is quite bad is bonds going over 4.7% with the geopolitical uncertainty and the national debt hitting areas known to be the $39.6 trillion mark, and no way for America to repay that. Foreign investors are losing trust. 4.7% is the interest America needs to pay for people to hold their debt. And if they're refinancing trillions of dollars, which they're going to this year, at a 4.7% interest, that will build their national debt to levels which are just absolutely berserk. Bitcoin is the way out. Forget about the market cycles. If you're a long-term investor, forget about everything. Over the long term, Bitcoin fixes the greatest problem humanity is head-to-head with, which is the broken financial system. Bitcoin, I see, is to be the way out. And if I can accumulate as much as possible for 15 years, 20 years, I am in the belief that I can retire young and just pursue what I enjoy. And that for me is acting. My dream is to have my own production company and invest in movies and films and act in them. And Bitcoin will be the powerhouse, the nuclear reactor to enable my dreams to come true. It's what I truly, truly believe. Penultimate topic. Clarity Act, according to Brian Armstrong, is ready for a full Senate floor vote, but the chances of it signed have gone down by 10%. Another piece of bad news. We're sitting at a 37% probability of this going through, even after President Trump agrees to the crypto ethics rule, which gets rid of the ability of the president, of the vice president, any congressman or woman to create their own cryptocurrency. Senator Cynthia Lummis was rejoicing over that and praising Trump for complying with ethics. Thankfully, community notes exist. The great community noters stated that President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump previously launched Trump and Melania meme coins, allowing Trump-affiliated entities to make over $650 million in profit. So them signing this ethics law doesn't turn back the meme coins which were created by them. They've made their money and nothing, and nobody can do anything about it. Anyways, even if we put that aside, the ethics laws will be governed by the Department of Justice, which the president nominates key members of and determines their budget and resources for. So will the Democrats agree to the new Clarity Act? I don't know. The Republicans want to push it for a vote as early as next week. They need 60 senators to say aye. 53 are Republicans in the whole Senate floor. So 7 Democrats need to vote yes. Will they do it? Will they not do it? It's too uncertain. We'll find out together. If this bill doesn't get passed over the next 2-3 weeks, I'm in the belief of it never getting passed. It'll be terrible for layer ones, terrible for tokenization's future. It will slow everything down. And yeah, we need this to go through. We really do need this to go through. SpaceX below $115. If you have been following along with the Crypto Kid videos and the Moonshow live streams, then you already know that this was the expectation. We made a video on the day of the launch and said, hey, short-term frenzy pump is definitely possible. But after that, when retail is going in and the search volumes have reached areas similar to meme coins and altcoins, when this initial frenzy is over, we're going to plummet hard, and I don't want to buy any piece of SpaceX stock until Q4 2027 because the circulating shares are super low. We're going to pump to 5% in the first week of August, and that number will increase to 99% in a year's time, which will cause selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure until we can finally start buying. And I'm putting a day of or time frame of Q4 2027 to begin buying SpaceX stock. I think it will be super successful, but it just is what it is. Major American IPOs will lose 31% in the first year and experience a drop of 53% from peak to bottom. SpaceX has practically already done that. So we're talking about these statistics on the day of the launch. Congrats if you were not part of the sheep that got into the SpaceX frenzy and then ended up losing a bunch of money. All right, guys and girls, thank you for watching today's video. If you're looking for a place to be trading Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, check out our partnered exchanges using the links in the description to be eligible for incredible campaigns and bonuses. LoveX, BTCC in weeks. Ladies and gents, see you all in 24 hours time. Bye-bye.